Happy New Year, everybody. This is Hannibal here from thehannibaltv.com, and we are going to start the year off with some awards for wrestling for the year 2022 as voted by fans. Overall, I would say this was not a great year for wrestling. AEW lost a lot of interest. It lost its buzz first after losing Cody Rhodes, then after the whole CM Punk debacle, and with Tony Khan's current practices of hiring more wrestlers than he can show on TV. So there's so many guys signed that aren't even used. So their days of instant sellouts kind of disappeared. Impact got even less popular. MLW got even less popular to the point where it's almost pretty much done, and they're still being dicks holding wrestlers like the Von Erichs hostage, who they aren't even using, but not letting them sign other places. Japanese wrestling, other than the Great Muta's retirement tour, which, by the way, Shinsuke Nakamura beat him last night in Pro Wrestling Noah. It's pretty much not as hot as it once was. UFC is doing great as far as sellouts, but still looking for the next superstar. And of course, Triple H taking over from Vince McMahon last year. Everyone thought he was going to be the savior. And Raw's had some of its worst booking ever. But let's get into the awards here. I hope better for 2023. One of the bright spots was Logan Paul, a superstar in another domain, showed that he could wrestle. And he's injured right now, but maybe he can help bring more to wrestling as time goes on. But we're still looking for the next star. But it looks like John Cena could be back for a few months. That might give wrestling a boost. Another good thing, The Rock's daughter debuted. That might give wrestling a boost if she turns out to be something special. There's some positive stuff that could happen for 2023. But I wouldn't say 2022 was a better year than 2021, other than the COVID stuff seemed to be over. But let's get into it. Wrestler of the Year, as voted by you fans, Roman Reigns, who Dave Meltzer even said WWE has pretty much dedicated themselves to pushing to try and make the next Austin or Cena and Hogan. He hasn't reached that level yet, but obviously he was voted number one. John Moxley, a distant number two. Roman Reigns won this bigger than any other votes. Chris Jericho, a close number three. Brock Lesnar, just 1% under Jericho. And Brock Lesnar didn't really even wrestle that much. CM Punk, number five, which was expected. And in the comments, I asked you guys to put some of your some people wrote none of the above in the comments, but really in the comments there wasn't really any suggestions. Some of the other ones had suggestions for people I left out. So basically everyone kind of agreed with Roman Reigns by a landslide on that one. Most overrated. The most overrated was CM Punk. Ronda Rousey, second most overrated. And I don't even think she's a draw anymore, to be perfectly honest about Ronda Rousey. Kenny Omega, third. Kenny Omega, everyone was touting to be some superstar, but other than with smart marks and the Japanese fans, he never really got over with the mainstream fans here. Kevin Owens, number 10. With 10%, number 4. Sami Zayn, number 5. And let's look at some of the ones you guys put in the comments that you also feel were overrated. Somebody said that NWA Pro Wrestling should be in there as most overrated, along with Impact Wrestling. Joey Janela, someone put it should be in most overrated. MJF. Somebody said MJF is most overrated. I agree. Daniel Bryan should be listed, somebody wrote. Somebody said Roman Reigns should be on there as most overrated as well. Best company by far was WWE, and I think in 2021 it would have been closer for AEW. Ring of Honor was a distant second, only 27% compared to WWE getting 60% of the vote. Number 3 was NWA. Number 4 and 5 were Impact and MLW tied. Best Booker. Now, the booking of all the companies has been pretty bad in 2022. Number 1 was Triple H. Brought back a lot of stars when he took over, and NXT people that some remembered and others didn't. Vince McMahon. Number 2 Booker of the year. He did book WWE. He was the head of creative for the first half of the year before Triple H took over. Of course, Vince McMahon still owns WWE. For people that want to act like he's totally out of it, he is still the owner of WWE. Tony Khan, who books both AEW and Ring of Honor. Number 3, Shawn Michaels, who books NXT. Number 4, Scott D'Amore, who books Impact, which is a terrible show. Number 5. So let's see what you guys put in the comments of this one. Someone says Tony Khan loves the Spot Monkeys. Somebody says he's not marking out for Triple H, but he says SmackDown and Raw have been more watchable since he took over. Someone says none of the above. Someone says Triple H brought back way too many people from NXT, and Bray's return is very confusing. So he would still go with Tony Khan. So let's look at your live comments. Happy New Year to you, Tom. So by the way, those are completely neutral. Those are fan voted. I agree that MJF is one of the most overrated too. James giving me a shout out from Indiana, where I've driven through Indiana numerous times. Tom would rank Keith Lee as overrated. He's overrated for sure, but I don't think he's even on the radar because he's really kind of dropped off the radar in wrestling. James says Kevin Owens should have been the most overrated. Well, you know what? I think I got to agree with the most overrated. CM Punk is definitely overrated, but I would say that you guys putting Rousey and Omega above Kevin Owens. I mean, Owens they might be pushing, even though he continuously is in one of the top segments when they hit all-time lows. But like we keep hearing how great Kenny Omega is, but we never actually see him like get over beyond smart marks liking him. Kurt, no, Abdullah has not passed away. He's like a cockroach. Wallace says AEW is overrated. MLW is the most forgettable. WWE is going through a slump. I don't think MLW has any TV, maybe other than international. I know that they only run once every 3 or 4 months. No one seems to be really making any money there. Kurt says CM Punk's ego killed his career. Well, keep in mind he's still making $3 million for sitting at home, plus whatever he gets for his MMA commentary gig. I mean, Ken Patera said it. It took him like a 20-year career to make $2 million. So CM Punk's sitting at home making $3 million a year, and Tony Khan apparently doesn't want him to sign with WWE, so he's happy paying him to sit at home for now. That's a pretty sweet deal. And for all these AEW wrestlers complaining that they're not getting used, I take an AEW contract to sit at home and wrestle once every 3 or 4 months. Even if I had the job, that's a friggin' easy job. Mick, Happy New Year to you too. And yes, you're saying SmackDown is the best show of the year. Everyone seems to agree on that. No one seems to doubt that. I didn't do a best show poll, but I think we can all agree that that SmackDown was the best show of the year. So thanks for your votes. Appreciate it. And I hope everyone has a great New Year's Day. I probably will do more news later in the day today. And we're almost at 350,000 subscribers. We're going to hit that this month. Make sure you follow us on Facebook too at The Hannibal TV for more live streams and ad-free videos. Many of our videos are ad-free on there. Have a great afternoon. I'm heading out there for a run because the gyms are closed.
Thank you for watching The Hannibal TV. Please like this video if you enjoyed it and click the subscribe button to not miss